everybody must study, everybody must have some knowledge around cosmetology. You know what will happen? Everybody will start, a lot of people will start opening up cosmetology schools to teach. Simply because it's not a legislation. If JAMB was not compulsory, you don't have to write JAMB. You finish and you enter straight into the university. What happens to extramural classes? What will happen to them? They will go off. So it's the same thing. So friendly legislation, competition is not much. There are few. Okay, so you can enter. Then a lot of people may also be, they don't like the market. They don't understand it. They leave it alone. And they leave it alone, but you understand it. And so you are very happy to go there. You know, so sometimes when people do not understand what you are doing, it's great. Just leave them out. Don't convince them to join you in what you are doing. Then when you have staff, sometimes they have transferable skills. Their skills are transferable. It means sometimes you can open another complementary business to what you are doing and offer it. So for example, like they did in Morocco, they have movies. They've extended it to music. Okay, they extended it to music. So they also push Nigerian music, Nigerian movies, Nigerian music. Does music and movies not go together? They go, it's entertainment. So it's all about playing around those kind of things. If your consumer suddenly now gets money, it's a market for some people. I remember back there some years ago, I was working, some people were working in a company that were owed 3 years salary. Somewhere in Delta State, and they were paid 3 years salary at once. Over 1,000 people were paid 3 years salary at once. What do you think happened to the market? You know what happened? They all moved straight into the electronic shops. Electronics ran out in the town. They started running to Aba and the rest on Onitsha to bring. Do you know electronics? They finished everything. People that did not have a TV, they suddenly paid them 3 years. They just went, all the needs they had, and they bought cars like mad. So those who were selling cars, electronics, and things like that, they sold. So when the guy has spending power, that could open some lines of business for some people. That's an opportunity. Move on. Of course, threats are anything. Anything, both the ones you see and you don't see. Threats could be competition. Legislation could be a threat too. Somebody gets into office and uses his office, okay, to block the access road to your place where you have your business, and the access road is the only road to your place. What happens to your business? You have to look for another way or another location to reach your customers. If not, your customer will go somewhere else, okay, to do business. Now, under threats, the kind of threats that can affect people are grouped into political, economic, social, as well as technology. Of course, you understand politics. Imagine if war breaks out in a place. All business is suspended except the business of supplying arms. And maybe still food, because food will still sell. But most other things will not. Because then people are fighting for survival. So you cannot tell the person, buy this extra jacket. It won't work. Okay, so some are economic. And the economic things could be job losses, retrenchment, depression in the economy, different things happening that affect the well-being of businesses. And so that could also affect you. If the major business you have dealings with, if they go under, what happens to you, to your business? That's the same thing. Social, of course, could be anything. Let's assume that there are social issues around the things that you do. That could affect it too. Technology, of course, we know technology. You know, Ghana has benefited from the things happening in Nigeria. I hope you are aware. Some companies have gone to Ghana, they started manufacturing from there. So that's why it's all about, even at the level of nations, countries compete against each other. So businesses compete, individuals compete. So Ghana benefited. Togo and all this Cotonou and Co., they benefited from our ports issues. So sometimes when the ports are congested, what happens? They divert ships over there. You know, so things happen. So any of these things can be examples of pest. You know, there's kidnapping somewhere, there's crisis in a place, age group of a particular. If you are selling a product that is for the old, or for old people, if suddenly the proportion of old people reduce drastically, what happens to your product? So that's why everybody right now is focused on selling to the youth. Because the youth market in Nigeria is very big. Really, really so big. Now that fantastic idea you have, I want you to kill it. I want you to kill it. So who is worried about my asking you to kill the business? Why should you kill the idea? Okay, let me help you. Imagine, have you ever been in a meeting where you were strategizing about a business and somebody mentioned a rival business and told you what they were doing and you wrote that business off with 1 or 2 lines? Have you been in that kind of meeting? They told you they're going to be doing that. It won't succeed, don't worry. Have you been in that kind of meeting? Have you been there? You've not. They are not doing business if you've not been there. I'm there all the time for my clients. This is what I do. We kill other people's businesses and kill their ideas. How? Not difficult. Every idea you come up with, if you don't kill it, someone else will kill it. So you better kill it before you. And what do I mean by kill it? Ask yourself these questions. How likely is it that someone else will come up with this? What if this should happen? Create scenarios around it. What if this does not succeed? Because you could be over-assuming. You could think you know a lot. You may be very ignorant, but not know. You may be very overconfident. You may not even do market research, or your market research could be very wrong. And you sit there assuming a lot. If you don't kill it in your mind, it means you do not understand how to play the devil's advocate. And you know what the devil's advocate does? He sits down and plays the role of competition. So imagine if you are in a meeting, half of your staff are acting as if they are the opposition. Football, they do it all the time in football. What did Spain do to Italy? The same thing. If Andres Pirlo does not play, Italy does not play. So it's the same thing. It happens all the time, and we watch it in other things. But in business, somebody sits down and says, this man is trying to do this. What do we do to checkmate him? That's all. So ask yourself the question when the idea comes, what do I do to checkmate myself if I were the competition? Until you can answer those questions, don't start that business. Let me give you an example. Let's say you came up with a milk product. Milk. I'll use milk because we know it very well. You were not making milk before. But the first time you made milk, you started making milk as sachet milk. What happens to those who were making milk before you? What would they do? And will your market last? I can assure you your market will not last. Because what would it cost them to switch, to add sachet milk to what they are doing? Remember, they have the distribution. Do you have it? They have the network, you don't have. They have the marketing, you don't. They have the money, you don't. They have the brand recognition in the minds of consumers, you don't. So your market will die before it starts. So can we move? So this is what you must do. So your competition, who are they? What are they doing? What are they doing? How well are they doing what they are doing? Let me ask you this. If you look at MTN, Glo, and the rest, who owns the largest share of the market? MTN. Okay. And who follows that? Okay. So a very simple example. In every market, there is the market leader. The first 2, 3, 4, 5 positions, people know them. The rest are fighting for things. So where would you fit? Where does your competition fit in that? So if you have 50 hotels in Ajawa Estate, you have a lot of hotels here. No, you have one of the largest concentration of hotels in Lagos. I don't know why. Maybe this is where the oil boom came first. But the truth of the matter, what is now your share in that market? And how well are you doing what you are doing? Have you done that SWOT analysis for your market? And what do customers like best about your competition? So let's use telco. What will be MTN's biggest value proposition? What? Coverage. And they'll keep saying it. For some other brands like banks, they'll say size, isn't it? We are everywhere. We are the largest bank, we are spread. So meaning, you are likely, if you call 3 banks in any place, we are likely to be there. Even though there are like 12 banks or more. So, what is the value proposition that you have? If you don't answer this one, if you don't find the answers to this, you can't actually craft something that will beat them. Because if they're already big on coverage, you're not going to fight them with coverage. You have to look for something else that they don't give. Remember when Nokia started pushing out phones in Nigeria? What was Nokia giving people? They'll give you a phone that has touchlight. But were they making phones that have touchlights everywhere else in the world? No. But in this market, the touchlight, did it make sense? It did. It made a lot of sense. Then the battery was very long lasting. And they had to do it that way because of the kind of environment that we are in. So their value proposition was that they understood this environment and crafted things that were special for us. It was not one size fits all. So what will be your value? They put camera in your phone. They put voice recorder in your phone. They put a video recorder on your phone. They put a clock on your phone. Some people don't have wristwatch anymore. They finished wristwatch market. Some people won't buy game anymore. You know, before people would buy game and play Nintendo and all those ones. Now some people don't. They play everything on their phone. One device took away many people's businesses. So think about it. Look at that. Look at it seriously. The reason why we are having this conversation is simply because you must look at these things. Because there's no need coming up with that fantastic idea. If you've not looked at all this, you are wasting your time. What resources do you have? What capabilities do you have to execute the business you want to do? If, for example, let me use these guys that take Nollywood movies. To take Nollywood movies, the raw DVD, and convert it into a form that can be put online, they have to have video editors. Don't you? You have to have video editors. You have to have people who understand how to write. You have to understand people who understand a script and how to cut, because I'm sure you have to edit a lot of things out of it. Because some of the things there, some of it would have been soundtracks that cannot be played elsewhere. You know, people sometimes will use soundtrack in a movie that they have no rights to, but you can't put them out. You can't. So there's a lot of work. So those kind of things you must look at your internal capacity to be able to do them. If you don't have them, go and acquire them. But you cannot sit down and assume that because you've thought of that fantastic thing, if you put it out there, they will just make one call and close your business and sue you out of business. You're going to play Rihanna's song. But we do it in this market. Have you heard of blue ocean? The ocean is blue, or looks blue, but it's really blue. What is it? Colorless, light, black, white. I don't know. But there's a concept of blue ocean and red ocean. Okay, when people fight in gladiators, you know gladiators, when they fight, what happens at the end of the fight? How many people walk away if 2 gladiators are fighting? 1. So what happens to the other one? The other one dies. Okay. So, how do you know someone is dead? What do you see? Okay, so if they were fighting in a pool, what will happen to that pool? To be bloody red. So in competition, that kind of fight turns a pool, the pool of competition, to blood. So red ocean is the one I fight you to a standstill for the market. But blue ocean is I don't fight you for this market, I go and create another one. So we are both hotels. What will be blue ocean there? Let me show you an example of blue ocean. You have how many types of rooms in your hotel? Just tell me.
6. Let's say 6.
You have 6 types of room. Guess how many types of room will be blue ocean for me? I have 1 type. Every room is the same. Do you think anybody will stay?
Oh, really?
Why? Okay. You know it's possible that I don't care about whether your hotel has swimming pool, has anything. I just want a place to sleep and go. Who has had to sleep? Who has gone to look for an hotel that just sleep and go? You arrive at 10 p.m. You are leaving at 6 a.m. You just want to sleep, or you go for a conference. You know, you have no business. They paid for the room for you, but you are going to be away morning till night. And you are away next morning till night. Like that, then the day the conference ends, you are leaving for the airport. Doesn't matter whether you are staying in a 10-star room. It will not matter to you. And if you are the one paying, they paid you the extra code, you will keep the money. You will keep it. It has happened to us. So the people that are still speculating, they don't know what they are saying. So I would prefer to stay in a room where as I get there, I fall asleep, wake up, and I'm gone. Hot water is working. That's fine. CNN is there. There's AC. There's fridge. That's enough. All the rest, you can forget about it. I may not even have time to use the internet. So for those kind of customers, if I put that hotel close to a bus terminal where people are traveling, night buses, and it's the closest hotel to that, I will never run short of customers. But I'm not going to put it in Ikoyi, Blue Ocean. So let's look at the Blue Ocean slide. I will round up this strategy slides. Then we can go and we can have some break. Are you tired? See? Existing market, the guy says he will stay there, will fight. The other guy goes to create a market nobody is fighting for. That's what Iroko did now. They went somewhere and said nobody is putting Nigerian movies online. They took it and went to put it. Others are still fighting over who will distribute to Abuja, who will distribute to Kano. They left them and went to distribute it online to Nigerians elsewhere who had money to pay but did not have access to it. I will beat the competition till it's dead. This one, I will make competition irrelevant. We will not mention competition's name anymore. This one said we will continue exploring demand. The same, we will push the same market. What's this one? They are going to create a new market and create a new demand. Now, let me tell you what will happen. I can predict. Very soon, if all this Jennifer and co, they want to launch a new movie, I'm sure they will do a movie exclusively for Iroko. And it will launch there. People will watch it live. You will not see it on a DVD to buy. Don't tell me about it. I know that's what will happen. Why? Because they've created channels for all these artists. Every actor and actress, they've created a channel for them. And they manage it on their behalf. So they will return more money to the artist than where they were getting money from before. Whose loyalty do you think they will follow them? So they bought the loyalty of the market.